Here we have The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which is a late 70s slasher horror based on a true event, so they did change quite a few things in the film. It does basically give you the story of the Phantom Killer set in the mid-40s, just after World War II, of a masked killer who wore a mask very similar to the one which Jason Voorhees wore in part 2 of Friday the 13th, so I guess this is where they might have got their inspiration, or perhaps the Zodiac Killer, who also wore a similar type mask for some of his killings. It's a good film. It does have a weird, jarring juxtaposition of the serious murder content and this weird sort of comedic police investigators, which is the worst part of the film, but the period setting is excellent. The horror sections are really good. It has this sort of faux documentary aspect to it, like, works quite well. And this is a pretty good Blu-ray. It is a little bit speckly and does have some good special features, audio commentary with historian Jim Presley, an interview with actors Andrew Prine and Dawn Wells, theatrical trailer, and an essay by William Bryan Albright, and poster and still gallery. But the real bonus is that there is a DVD in here also, which not only has the DVD version of the film, but has a DVD version of one of the director's other films, which is quite excellent and good, and a pretty nice transfer, considering it's two films jammed onto one DVD. A little film called The Evictors, which is kind of not really a haunted house film, but anyway, I'm not going to give away too much. Some people are in a house and that has a bit of a bad history, and they feel very unwanted, and it's quite a good film. Nice little bonus there. Really good work from Scream Factory to get that on there. Quite interestingly, just today I watched it's not a remake of The Town That Dreaded Sundown, but it is a 2014 film called The Town That Dreaded Sundown, and it's not a sequel either, but it is a fictionalized carry-on of the real-life events, including the fact that a movie was made on the events, and this movie actually exists within the world of the new movie. It has a few problems of its own, that film, but it is a worthy companion piece to this film, and quite interesting just because the characters in the film watched this movie, and I'll let you make up your own mind, but I thought it was a little over-stylized and needed to be reined in a little, but it's worth checking out if you have a chance. And if I find that cheap, I might pick it up just as a companion piece to this, just like I did with the My Bloody Valentine remake. Here we have a nice companion piece for your Nightmare on Elm Street Blu-ray box set. It's Never Sleep Again, the 4-hour documentary on the making of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, made from the same people. This one was done earlier, but made from the same people who did Crystal Lake Mysteries, is it? Lake Murders. It's an extensive documentary which I've seen on Netflix before, so I just wanted to get it because it goes nicely with my collection, and also has a lot of bonus features, lots of extra extended interviews with the cast and crew. Horror's Hallowed Grounds, The Return to Elm Street, which is that TV show which goes to different real locations of horror films were done. They had a lot of them in the Halloween set. Expanding the Elm Street universe, Freddy in comics and novels, A Nightmare on Elm Street in 10 minutes, the music of the Nightmares, conversations with composers and songwriters, and much more. There was a bunch of other features in there, including one on Star Heather Langenkamp and what she's up to that's in there. Extra's worth getting it. I managed to pick this up for just $11.99 through deepdiscount.com. They had it on special. I'd never seen it below $17.99 before that. So it's quite a good collection. That is region locked to Region A, as all of this company's products are. Dead and Buried, this is another one that was on really cheap, especially for a Blue Underground film. It's from, it says here, from the creators of Alien. It doesn't really have much in common with Alien, other than being a horror film. It is kind of a very strange, creepy film. Transfer might not be up some people's alley, but I believe it's true to the intentions. It's quite grainy and dark, but this does have some really cool special features, but it basically takes place in this. It basically takes place in this small sort of fisherman town, and there's some murders, and the investigator is trying to find out what's going on, is coming across some very strange townsfolk, and I'm not going to give away too much, but it's definitely worth checking it out. I don't know if it's for everybody, but at the cheap price it was at, with all the special features that it does have, I thought it was worth checking out. And it's region free as well, so it has 3 audio commentaries, which seems extreme for a film of this little reputation, but I had a little listen to a couple of bits of 2 of the different ones, and I think they all are all going to bring something different to the table. And there's an excellent feature called Stan Winston's Dead and Buried FX, as a interview with Robert Englund, who's in the film, called An Early Work of Horror, and an interview with Dan O'Bannon, who wrote Alien and co-wrote the screenplay for this. Really good release from Blue Underground. I think we're going to get a better release. The local release of this film has the same transfer, but does not have any special features, so obviously I'm not going to pick up that. I managed to get this cheaper than the local release with all those special features, and it's region free, even though I have a region free player, but for those who don't, who are in a region B or C area, this is the version to get. Lastly, but not least, we have another one I managed to pick up very cheap. It was on Amazon very briefly for $11.99 when it's usually $19.99 or higher. Dark Night of the Scarecrow, made for TV film, but one of the best and scariest horror films that would be made for TV, and really beautiful transfer. It's in the original 1.33 to 1 ratio, which is the classic old school full frame TV with the big black bars down the side, for those of you who don't know. But it looks stunning. The colours is rich for an 80s film, for an 80s TV film. This has really been done very well. It has some good bonus features too. It has a production documentary, a Q&A with Larry Drake, Tanya Crow and J.D. Figgelson, which are some of the stars of the film and the writer. It has the rebroadcast promo, because I believe this was replayed on TV a few years after it was first broadcast, and a new behind the scenes photo gallery, director and writer commentary, a CBS Network World Premiere promo, and comes with English and Spanish subtitles, and it's in 5.1 surround, no less. So probably my favourite of that subgenre of scarecrow films. I think this is the best out of all the ones I've seen anyway. And you know, it's not that bloody because it's on TV, but it has got all the atmosphere that is needed, and I recommend Dark Night of the Scarecrow, and I was lucky enough to pick it up cheap. And this one even comes, look at the disc there, but this one even comes with a nice little booklet, which is pretty cool and very stylishly done. Attention to Screen Factory on that. Okay, so that is a huge, massive horror Blu-ray update. Look at all those. Managed to get these all for good bargains. I say shop for those bargains, people, because they're out there. See you soon.